Welcome to Study Loop.
Hi everyone. So basically today we're going to be talking about what we call feedback loops. So one important feedback loop is a negative feedback loop. So in a negative feedback loop, it looks sort of like this, where something happens to an organism, so they do something to correct that and return back to the original state, therefore maintaining dynamic equilibrium. And dynamic equilibrium is the target point um, equilibrium is a target point for what we like to call homeostasis, or keeping the organism at a steady level so that it survives. And today's example of a negative feedback loop is asking what an endothermic, or an animal that produces its own heat and is in charge of its own heat instead of relying on its environment, what an endothermic animal would do if the temperature suddenly dropped. So, if the temperature suddenly dropped. Well, what we do know out of all the answer choices, the one that looks the most viable is that one that would sort of change its internal processes to bring it heat. And one that does that is very clearly the one that increases muscle activity. And this is true because when the muscle activity is increased, then internally more heat is generated and dynamic equilibrium is worked to maintain, and the feedback loop works as it's expected to.